Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My name is Nikki Verd. I am the voice for those who yearn to upskill, innovate, disrupt the status quo and recreate themselves in a world that's fast changing. Now, if you are new to my channel, please take a quick moment and hit the subscribe button below. And if you find this video helpful, please hit the like button as well. If there was ever a time for people to bet on themselves, it is now. If there's anything 2020 and the pandemic have taught me, it is that I should learn to bet on myself. Nothing is guaranteed. Life is volatile. Technology is changing the world at a very fast pace we've never seen before. The pandemic is wreaking havoc across the world. The economy is unpredictable and people can really be fickle. More than ever, I am now more aware that things can go downhill at the blink of an eye. You can lose your job or your business. People can leave you in the middle of the road. A pandemic can cast a terrifying shadow. Love can turn to hate, and so on. Too many people are hurting, disappointed, and crushed because they are betting on other people or situations. Some people start businesses betting on the government or the economic situations. Some start businesses betting on investors. People go to college betting on government and the private sectors, to provide them jobs as soon as they graduate. Lovers start relationships betting on their partner. Some people start out in life betting on their parents, their uncles, their aunties, or their friends. The point here is that no one has control over the behavior of another human being or the economic situation. You have no control whether or not the next person is going to come through for you with their promises. You have no control over climate change. You have no control over people or economic circumstances, like I've already mentioned. And so in whatever you are embarking on, betting on someone else or anything outside of yourself is a recipe for pain and anxiety. Some people navigate life by putting their bet and trust in other people. And when that trust is broken or betrayed and things come crumbling down, they are so disappointed that they just build a wall and hide themselves from the world. These types of people spend the rest of their lives behind this wall, trying to figure and predict every move of other people so as to minimize any potential for failure or pain. But trust is not about predicting what someone else is going to do. Trust is about knowing you can handle whatever they are going to do. Trust is about betting on yourself, not on people. Trust depends on how strong you are, not how strong the economy is, or how strong the other person is, or how loyal your partner is. We've already established that nothing is guaranteed. Even life has no guarantees. But we don't stop living. Fear, chaos, adversity, and pain are all part of life, but a survivor's mindset makes use of all these adversities. A survivor says, if they respond to my emails or texts or phone calls, great, but if they don't, I'm gonna be okay. A survivor says, if my business partner turns out to be an awesome human being, great, but if he or she turns out to be a traitor, well, I'm gonna be just fine. A survivor says, if my business works out, great, but if the business fails, I'm still gonna be just fine. I will try again. A survivor says, if the one I love reciprocates my love and loyalty, great, but if they don't, I am still gonna be fine. Someone else out there will be so glad they found me. Adopting this mindset won't erase or eliminate pain or disappointments from your life, but it will help you to keep moving every time something goes wrong. It will motivate you to stay alive whenever, things don't work out the way you plan. Some people have vowed never to start a business again, never to marry again, never to love again, never to trust again. But if only they can learn to bet on themselves, they will understand that it is easier to put on slippers than to carpet the whole world.
Most people who trust are naive. And naive is not a virtue. It's a fault. It's partly a fault because if you're naive and you run into someone who's malevolent, including you, they might do you incalculable damage so that you will never recover. So that's not a good thing. You don't want to be naive. If you're not naive, that means you've been burned once or twice or 3 or 4 times. And, you know, once you've been burned in that manner, well, then it's hard to trust. Because you think, well, why would I trust you, or me for that matter, knowing full well that I can be betrayed? And so then you're cynical. And you think, that's an improvement over being naive. You know, you're more mature, cynical than you are naive, even if it's premature. And it's often premature in young people. It's like, okay, so how do you get out of that conundrum? Well, this is a crucial thing to know. You trust people because you're courageous. That's why. It's the same reason that you're grateful. It's a mark of courage. It's a mark of commitment. It's like, you and I, we're going to make an agreement, and you're full of snakes, and so am I. And there's lots of ways this can go sideways. But we're going to put together an agreement. We're going to articulate it out. We're going to try to find something that is of mutual benefit to both of us. We're going to put our hands out and shake, and we're going to try to stick to that. And we're going to risk trusting each other, right? It's a risk. And that's the risk upon which the state is based, really. Like, I believe, and I think the evidence for this is very strong, by the way. I don't think that there is any other natural resource than trust. And for trust, you need courage, not naivety. And you've got to overcome your cynicism so that you trust.
Personally, I've come close to throwing in the towel so many times. I've said I'll never ever help someone again because of how they reciprocated my kindness. I've said I will never love again because of how someone played football with my heart. I've threatened to delete even my social media account because of the attacks I sometimes get from people who don't understand my content. But hey, I've learned to make my nest even in the piles of broken glass. If you know me, you know that I am no stranger to struggles. I've known deep pain, you know, loneliness, betrayal, rejection, abuse. I've fought battles that some people will only ever watch in movies, but I am still standing. I have been hurt, disappointed, taken advantage of, but I refuse to put up a wall because the same wall that keeps pain out also keeps happiness out. The same wall that keeps bad people out will also keep good people out. The same wall that keeps failure and disappointments out will also keep opportunities and blessings out. A couple of years ago, I came across a quote by Andrew Murphy and it changed my life. It says, "You are confined only by the walls you build yourself." When you learn to bet on yourself, the walls will come down. Paulo Coelho said something so powerful in The Alchemist, one of my favorite books of all times. He said, "Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dream, because every second of the search is a second's encounter with God and with eternity." The reason some of us keep making the same mistakes in business, in love, in friendships, and life in general is because we keep betting on other people. We say to ourselves, "Oh, he's going to change. She's going to come around. The government is promising to create 1 million jobs this year, so I'm definitely going to be employed. Uncle Sam promised to give me money to start a business." How long have you been waiting on Uncle Sam? How long have you been waiting on that man or that woman to see your value? How long has the government been promising jobs? Your brothers who graduated long before you are still jobless, yet you seem to believe that your case is going to be different and this year you're going to be employed. The big question is, when are you going to bet on yourself and stop putting your future in someone else's hands? Betting on other people is gambling. Betting on yourself is fate. Betting on yourself is opening yourself up to playing a bigger game. Not everyone will clap when you win. Not everyone will compliment you on something great you've achieved. Not everyone will give you a tap on the back when you're finally stepping out, to improve on yourself. Not everyone will leave a positive comment on your content. Some people won't say a word to you about your tenacity, your courage, or your business. The people you expect support from the most are the ones that will go silent on you. In many cases, strangers will celebrate you more than your loved ones. I know this too well, so believe me when I say you have to become your own biggest fan. Bet on yourself. Say to yourself, whether they congratulate me or not, I'm gonna keep going. Life is not a vacation where everything is just one big party and fun, fun, fun. No. It's natural to avoid pain. It's human nature to avoid pain. But pain is often the price we have to pay for growth. Everything that grows experiences some sort of pain. Have you seen how much pain children are in when they are growing their teeth? Life isn't about avoiding heartache or bruises, but about collecting the scars to prove that you showed up for it. As Khalil Gibran said, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. Even God says, I will not cause pain without allowing something new to be born. Purposeful pain is one of the things I've touched and discussed in my book, Disrupt Yourself or Be Disrupted. Get yourself a copy for more on my views on pain and growth. Keep in mind, an easy life inspires nobody. It's great to have support, but it's better to find your own voice. It's great to have people in your corner, but it's better to be able to fight when life puts you in a corner. You can't just sit there and wait for a savior. You can't just sit there and wait for people to give you that golden dream. You've got to get out there and make it happen for yourself. For the most part, life is a do-it-yourself project. No matter how much help you may have or may not have, at the end of it all, you are responsible for who you become. One of the ideas I've shared in my book is that success happens when you change, not when other people change. This isn't to suggest that you should be an island. Absolutely not. This isn't to suggest you should never reach out to someone or ask for help when you need it. No, that is not what I am saying. What I am saying is that if you are going to do anything, do it betting on yourself first. Say to yourself, I can do this thing, but whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. For more tips on how to bet on yourself and become unstoppable, get my best-selling book, Disrupt Yourself or Be Disrupted. It's available on Amazon and on my website. I'll share the links in the descriptions below.